TGR News, broadcasting from the State of Israel.
Welcome back to TGR News.
Welcome. Shabbat Shalom.
Well, we had another good week of handing out food, and really is a blessing. You guys are coming along, and like I say every week, as you're watching these videos, it's so you can see what a blessing you guys are doing. You can see us buying the groceries and packing them up and passing them out, and it's so you guys can feel really good about it. And we need more and more people.
Yes, we do.
All of our information for donating to this part of the ministry below the video is a link to the support page for the goldenreport.com, and there's a link to the Patreon page. And if you can't figure out the links, all you got to do is go to the internet and go to goldenreport.com and go to the support us button on the top of the website, and you can go and figure out a way you want to join and be a part of this feeding the people, hungry people here in Israel.
Yes.
It really is a blessing.
It really is.
You know, God
to
said,
see the smile on their faces when they get food.
Yeah, absolutely. God said he'd bless those that bless Israel.
That's for sure.
So go get your blessing.
Yes, right.
Absolutely. Well, I think this is the first week it feels like summer's not here.
I know. It's been so hot for November.
Yeah, it's been super hot this November. I mean, it feels summertime. Summer November.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, let's get into it. You'll never guess. There's a lot to talk about.
Yes, there is always a lot to talk about, unfortunately.
Bennett was able to pass the budget.
I know.
That means
we were hoping he wouldn't, but
that means he'll stay in office, and it also means that Lapid now will definitely take over when it's his turn for the second half of this term of being prime minister.
I have no idea what damage he's going to do.
You don't even know what's up his sleeve, what's waiting for us there. Well, we were told that before, I had mentioned it on the channel, that so in the news and stuff, we were told that Bennett and his was giving Ram 5.2 billion shekels.
Yeah.
Right? In the budget. And Ram is the Arab party in the coalition that
supports terrorists.
And everything, Hamas and everything else, and was found giving them money straight to Hamas from our taxpayers' money, right?
Our hard-earned money.
Yeah. So we were told it was 5.2 billion, and it wasn't 5.2 billion. We were mistold. You know what it is? 53 billion shekels.
And you know, I just can't understand what's going on.
The only reason Bennett give him that much was to buy his vote in Knesset, right?
Yes,
to keep
exactly.
It, yeah, absolutely.
Just the power thing, not caring what's happening to his country and his people.
So basically, in the budget now, it's given to Manso Abbas, but it's exactly like giving it straight to the terrorists. So now in the Israeli budget, we have 53 billion shekels in the budget to support terrorism. My goodness. Well, let me just break it down to you a little bit of the different what the budget looks like in this thing. I just picked out a few things. Higher education, like universities and stuff, is only 12 billion.
Yeah.
And
it could use a 53.
And terrorists got 53.
Yeah.
Education, just regular education up to high school, got 70 billion. The health got cut down. The Ministry of Health's budget got cut down to 45 billion shekels.
Oh, and that's really bad.
And our defense budget is 60 billion, almost the same as the terrorist budget.
The terrorist budget.
So now we're going. Now we're just, as much as we pay for our own defense, now we're just about we pay for them, right?
Yeah.
To attack us.
Yeah.
That makes a lot of sense to me.
It makes a lot of sense. Pay someone to attack you, and then lower your defenses.
Wow,
money.
Well, Israel's opening up was opening up a public discussion with parents and government medical officials in hopes that it would cause parents to take their kids and get them vaccinated.
Yeah, I saw that, but I hadn't heard what the final.
Well, we'll get into that. We'll get into that because it was something they were planning on doing. It was a big smoke screen, basically.
Yeah.
And they were planning on doing it, and then they ended up not doing it. I'll tell you what, we'll just go ahead and get into it. It's at the end of my notes here, Mama.
Okay.
What ended up happening, and this is a joke, on Wednesday, the Corona cabinet here in Israel, they voted for kids from 5 and up to get vaccinated, and it passed through the government cabinet at about 85% that voted yes. Okay, on the issue, and all of this was they did all of this, and they made a big thing about it, like it was all public and trying to get the people to feel like we're a part of this stuff and everything, right? But what some people seem to just forget is the media let out that what was it, 2 weeks ago, Bennett had already ordered the vaccines from Pfizer for the kids that are special bottles. They made a big deal about it, where they're half size and blah blah blah. So he already ordered it,
so
and then they say they're going to make this discussion public, and then they said they wouldn't because it was dangerous, because they were afraid that people would lash out the people who voted yes.
Yeah.
And then they want to act like it was all up front for us to be a part of, when it was all pre-done anyway. They already ordered it. Everything was already decided. It was done,
Yeah.
People think
no transparency.
I don't know how stupid they think people are.
I don't either.
Well, Bennett addressed the nation after passing the budget.
Yeah.
To say how he saved the country by passing the budget and being the first world leader to give his people the third shot. Now, those are two things he said. He said he was such a good prime minister, and he could prove it because he finally passed the budget, and he was the first one in the world to get his people to take the third vaccination.
Yeah.
So that was his explanation of how good he is, right?
Sad.
And that's
sad.
Yeah, it really, really is. And it's just it's almost too much to get into.
Yeah.
Well, the Office of Road Safety had a budget. Let's keep on the budget here.
Yeah.
Up until now, they had a budget of $550 million. Now, this is very important, Israel. You guys don't understand driving habits in this country. More people
horrible.
die in this country in accidents per capita than I think any country in the westernized world. I mean, it is insane. We almost have the same amount of road deaths in this small little country with only 9 million people as the entire United States does with 350 million people.
Yeah.
You know, I think we have just about the same amount of deaths. So if you do that per capita.
They don't know road etiquette, and they just drive aggressive. It's just terrible the way they drive.
So Bennett really did a lot of good in saving a lot of people, like he's tried to explain in his speech, right? When the budget for the road safety office should have gotten more money to make things even more safer, right?
Yeah.
They went from 550 million to 71 million. That's a big cut.
That's a big cut.
When you have death rates just going through the roof, rising every year.
Yeah, every day. I don't think there's a day that goes by that there's not some kind of death from a road accident.
And then it's just, it's just, anyway, it's mind-boggling to me how people can watch these politicians make speeches and then somehow, because you're listening to some people and they're like, oh, this sounds like, yeah, he's doing good change. He's doing this.
Yeah.
Some of the people have different ways of looking at things, right?
Yeah.
And it's like, how do you
not
they come
see
across
it? Yeah. How do they come across those thoughts?
Yeah.
When they see all the chaos and the damage that's been done to the country and the people and.
It's crazy. Well, the left-wing party, Meretz, so actually quite an extreme left-wing party, in Meretz, in the coalition, has started taking measures to stop building in Judea and Samaria. Now, what they're doing is, they're obviously very left-wing, so they think that's not even our country, right? That area, that's the Arabs' country.
Yeah.
They think we should give it all away and give all the land away. But what they're doing is they're threatening to break up the coalition because they realize, like most people have realized, Bennett will do anything to stay in that seat.
Yeah.
Like giving all that money to the Arabs who are terrorist supporters and everything else. So they realize, hey, we got a guy in there. All you got to do is threaten him that we're going to break up the coalition and he'll lose his seat and they'll do anything.
Yeah.
And they'll probably get it.
Yeah.
They'll probably be able to get Bennett to stop everything, building anything in Judea and Samaria because of his fear for losing the seat.
Yeah, and that's sad because, this is the land God gave to the Jews.
Absolutely.
He said, once he gave it to us, he wouldn't allow it to be taken away. But there's nothing in the scriptures that said
We wouldn't
the
be able to give it
idiots
away.
couldn't give it away.
Yeah,
and that's what
absolutely.
you're seeing.
Yep, exactly. It's I mean, it's anyway. And then we have, like we said before, then we got Lapid coming next, right?
Yeah,
Who
and
knows?
who knows what chaos is going to happen with that.
On Saturday night, there was a failed assassination attempt on the Prime Minister of Iraq. It took place at his house, and Iran was behind it, and they know that America won't do anything as they try to take over Iraq. Because
they know Biden's in charge.
Yeah, Iran knows that they've got their eyes locked on Iraq right now with all the crazy stuff that's going on.
Yeah.
And thinking they're going to get another stronghold in the Middle East. And they know that Biden ain't going to do a
Anything.
thing. Yeah,
It's
anything.
sad. It's sad.
And our hands are tied, because if we started doing any kind of things, what the UN and the United States and the rest of the world would say to us, right?
Oh, yeah. They would accuse us of doing atrocities that don't really exist with what we do.
Absolutely. Well, on Monday, the IDF made its 7th attack in 2 weeks inside central Syria and along the coast against Iranian attempts to arm the Hezbollah yet again.
Yes. And they've got them so fully armed, they don't really need any more.
Yeah, and it's been happening a lot lately. Apparently, it just doesn't take a genius to realize Iran is getting Hezbollah ready for something, because it seems like every day there's 3 or 4 convoys of weapons and all kinds of ordinances and stuff going. They're sending to Hezbollah through Syria, right?
Yeah.
Every day. So I mean, it's something that looks like. Yeah. Well, let's talk about Gaza in the south. Hamas made a test run from Gaza with their military drone on Monday afternoon.
Oh,
a long-range drone.
Yeah.
Right. They made a test flight over the Mediterranean, but the Iron Dome shot it down.
Well, that's good.
Even though it was going out towards the
Most
Mediterranean.
people don't realize these military drones are super dangerous.
Yeah. So while it looks like Hezbollah is getting ready for something, so it's like Hamas is getting ready for something.
Yeah.
I wonder what that something is.
Who knows? And
Probably.
then you have Jordan and Syria.
It's probably something nice, right?
Oh, exactly.
Yeah.
With the 53 million they're getting,
53
I'm sure.
billion.
Billion, I mean, thank you.
Now that they got 53 billion, they can run test runs on drones and stuff, right?
It don't matter how much they lose, because they have plenty to replace them.
Well, the Arab criminal element is now stopping Jews on the highways. We've been talking about it for weeks now.
About the Arabs.
Not the terrorist, criminal. Arab criminal elements is going crazy, worse and worse and worse. Now they're stopping Jews on the highways, pulling them out of the cars, stabbing them, and taking like carjackings, right?
Yeah, carjacking.
And an American in certain parts of the states hears this kind of news and thinks, okay, that's just regular news, right?
Yeah.
But in Israel, it's not.
No.
It's not. It's not even close to regular news.
No, it's something new.
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you what. The police sometimes do their work.
Yeah, they do.
In this country.
Yeah. Once in a while.
After more than a year's undercover police work, this week, the police were able to make a mini arrest and take hundreds of weapons out of the Arab criminal element's hands.
Ooh, that's good. That's good.
That's really great. It's really good. They made a lot of arrests and made a lot of headway. And the guy, obviously, the undercover agent, was there for over a year.
Yeah.
But what's funny is if you know your timeline, that means that this all happened under Bibi's watch. Right?
Yeah.
But Bennett's coalition is trying to take credit for it.
Yeah.
Well, just work your timeline, buddy. It doesn't make sense. But okay, whatever makes you feel good.
Yeah.
As long as they're doing something. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
We go back to Manso Abbas, the head of the Arab coalition, Ram. The one that Bennett gave 53 billion shekels to, and the one that Bennett's given all this power to in the government, and the one that Bennett's is bowing down to just to keep his seat in the prime minister's office. This is really bad. He's letting Manso Abbas, an Arab, in our government, in the coalition, by the way, that even when he speaks in the Knesset, in our government official arenas, will not, and makes a comment and makes statements about will not call Israel a state of Israel because he don't recognize it. And this is a guy in our coalition.
Yeah.
Okay, he won't recognize it, and he calls us all kinds of names when he wants to mention this country. And this is a guy in our government that Bennett's given all this power to, and even more now. So Manso Abbas this week met with King Abdallah of Jordan. And this was an official meeting between governments. So Bennett sent this guy to be our foreign officer, or whatever, to handle our foreign affairs with another Arab country that's not
really friendly.
We're at peace. But
not
we're
friendly.
But we're at just, don't mess with me, I don't mess with you peace for the past 30 years or so, right?
Yeah.
So I can't believe that. That's just even another new low point where Bennett's sending this guy to be our foreign affairs agent with these Arab countries around the world now.
Sad.
I mean, how, this guy, who knows what they talked about?
Who knows? And of course, it won't be reported.
Yeah, well,
he'll report only what he wants to be.
Yeah, of course they reported some things because they had to, but who knows?
Yeah.
Who knows? Well, that was a good point to leave off on.
Yes, it was a bad point, but this is the Middle East. This is Israel. We have to deal with so much going on here with, so many people against us. And so, and now to have your own coalition going against you, it's just beyond belief. We really do need lots of prayer for Israel.
Absolutely. Well, you got anything you want to say?
No, not this week.
Okay. Are you going to say something?
Not going to say something this week. I'm gonna be sweet and be nice this week.
You're always sweet and nice. Well, we appreciate all your support and everything. Don't forget to join us on thegoldenreport.com. Go to the support page there and be a part of the boat ministry and the food ministry. And until next week, bye-bye.
God bless. Shabbat shalom.